Okay, and action. Hey, y'all. Hey, happy Monday. How's everybody doing? I hope a lot of you all had off like I did and you enjoyed a little free time today. If not, I'm so sorry about it, but happy Monday anyway. And I hope your week is off to a good start. If you don't know, I'm your girl, Mojo, and I'm blessed with the presence of DJ Convo, aka Dwayne, today. Can you all see him on Instagram? Because it looks all black to me. Somebody
You see me?
respond. Yeah, it looks like I can see myself, but I don't see you. Let me check on my page. Oh no, I see you look paused a little bit.
I look paused.
Let's see. Hey, Align P. Hey, Miss Dottie. Hey, Sweetwater. Hey, Mommy. Okay, I can see you now on Instagram. Can everybody see both me and Dwayne on Instagram? I need to put my hair on my face so I'm not whipping my hair back and forth. Somebody respond in the chat, please, if you can see both Dwayne and myself in the window. Hi, Marcia. Thank you all for joining. If y'all don't know, I do this each and every Monday. I ask y'all to have a moment with your girl, Mojo, aka Maisha. I'm usually greeted by a special guest, and today's special guest is DJ. If y'all don't know, today's
Hello.
topic is LOVE. And the beautiful month of February, not only do we celebrate Black History Month, but it's also a little love going on there too. It's a little love theme happening. So I got my red on, I'm ready. I also got y'all joining, so I'll give y'all a couple few seconds. Please feel free during the conversation to holler, comment, put your questions, concerns all in the chat. But before we start our lovely conversation about love, I'm going to start off with a cocktail like I usually do. Oh, they say
Okay.
you look frozen. Does he still look frozen?
Still look frozen?
Let me see. I was opening up Instagram on my phone to see if you look frozen. Let me see. Okay, you're moving now. On my phone, you're moving now.
No, I wasn't moving
All right,
before.
y'all keep the chat, keeps the comments going. Let me know if he's still frozen. I'm gonna go and get the happy hour started. Hey, Sister Mary. Hi, Sunshine. So if y'all don't know, like I said, I do this each and every Monday. It's entitled Monday Moments with Mojo. And basically what happens is we have a little conversation about all different types of things. Sometimes it's love, like today. Sometimes it's your job. Sometimes it's your work. Sometimes it's your play. Sometimes it's dating. But whatever it is, we just talk about how you, we, us together find our mojo in this beautiful thing we call life. If you don't know what your mojo is, that just means how you show up as your authentic self and whatever it is you're doing. And I think that today's topic is very common and familiar for everybody because we all should know at this day a little bit about love. So today we're going to see how you, we, us find our mojo through love. But before we do that, I'm going to start it off with a cocktail. And my cocktail today is a blueberry and blackberry smash with
Wow.
the spirit of whiskey, in the spirit of whiskey. I couldn't really decide if I wanted a low ball glass, a high ball glass, or a little copper mule glass. So I chose the mule, as you can see, because it matches my little shaker shape. So if y'all drinking with me, going and get your libation started. I'm gonna do a couple shots of the whiskey inside my shaker. Just a couple, 2 ounces. Uh-huh. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of, I'm gonna smash up my blueberry and my blackberry because that just feels like the right thing to do. But I'm gonna put a little agave in there because I like it to be a little sweet. You all right over there, DJ? You good? You all right?
Yep, got my drink right here.
All right, what you sipping on today?
What am I sipping
Take up
on?
choice.
Some Bacardi.
Mhm.
What is this?
All right. Are you usually a rum guy? Is that your
Some
thing?
Bacardi
Just depends.
Bacardi Tropical. Yeah,
All right.
I do rum, some whiskey when I'm smoking a cigar,
All
things of that
right.
nature.
All right. So I'm mashing up these purple things, and if y'all know me, I usually don't like things floating around in my drink, but I had some fresh blackberries. and I had some whiskey. So I felt like, why not go on and make it happen? All right.
Mm.
So in my shaker over here, I have my ice, I have my whiskey, and I'm gonna just shake it up a little bit so it's nice and cold. Just like so. I'm just gonna pour my smash just in a cup by itself. I ain't even shake her up. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour. I wish I could see the pretty color because it's real pretty in there. Mm-hmm. Then over that, I'm gonna pour my whiskey because it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And the thing that makes it mulish is gonna be my little ginger beer. This is my favorite ginger beer, Fever Tree, because it's not as sweet as some of the other ones. It would be messed up if I couldn't get the top off. Oh, that's it. Look at that there. So I'm gonna just do 1 or 2 pours of a little ginger beer. So you don't need too many ingredients for this. Just a couple few. And I'm gonna stir it up just so to make sure the mule is muling and the blueberries and blackberries are doing what they do. So now that we got that taken care of, cheers, y'all. Happy Monday.
Cheers.
This is pretty good. And I don't even mind crunching on the berries a little bit. All right. So, like I said, hey, David King. Like I mentioned before, if y'all have our conversation today is about love, but please feel free to join the conversation, comment, send some questions of your own, all up in the chat because I'll be looking for you. I'll be checking for y'all. So today I'm graced with the presence of Dwayne Jackson. Do people still call you DJ Combo? Is it just DJ?
DJ mostly.
DJ is good. Dwayne and I have known each other. DJ. Say that again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, just DJ or Dwayne. I can tell if somebody calls me DJ, I know they know me from Facebook maybe or Instagram or depends how far back they know me.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us or me, DJ, tonight for a little conversation about love. I thought of you and I thought of this topic because you've recently been married. So I said, what better person to talk about love with than you? And we've also known each other for I don't even know how many years now. 15, 20, I don't know. Long time. So cheers to our love, our friendship love. So what do you do? Where are you? You're in New Jersey. Where you at? Tell people a little bit about yourself and then I'll get into the conversation.
Well, I'm in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. Born and raised in East Orange. At this present time, I'm in the educational system. Was in broadcasting for about 18 years. Decided to jump into the education to see if that was my calling, I should say.
Okay.
It's tough. It's tough out here, but it's tough out here for the educational side of things. But it is what it is.
Okay. But are you enjoying it? You feel like you made the right move?
Some days I do. Some days I don't. It depends on the kids. Depends on what I'm doing with the kids. But most of the time, it's a good thing to give back to the community, especially since I'm in East Orange now. So.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for joining. How long has it been anyway? You've been in education now?
Just 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Okay. All right. Well, now that we got that out of the way, now we know a little bit about you. We're going to go on jumping right into the conversation. So I shared with the people that you're recently married. So congratulations to you on that. Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start off light with the light stuff and then get into the love stuff. So how would you define love? What's your description of love? Like romantic love, I guess I should say, because we can love all
romantic love.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's levels of romantic love, because it could be the physical sense and it could be the mental sense, and then you can have, I like to call it the merge. You need all of those aspects to be romantically in love with somebody, because it's funny how things work. You can love someone, but you might not be in love with them. You love what they bring to your life. You love what they can do for you on an outside basis, as having a comfortable home and bring consistency in that aspects. But the passion, the romantic side of things could be down the drain. It could be trash, but you're content about your everyday livelihood. So you just move along. So you love that part of life, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So my thing is basically when it comes down to love in a relationship, you got to have all those aspects. It needs to be those two levels, and then they need to intertwine with each other every now and then. They're always going to be separate. They're always going to be separate. You're
Mm-hmm.
always going to need to be. You're always going to need to be filling those cups at all
Yeah.
times. One cup can't be never. One cup is going to be a little bit more than the other, but they can't be that far off in fulfillment.
Nice, nice. Okay, I can agree with that. Now, how many times would you say you've been in love?
In love,
Mhm.
let's I guess we start back in college because I
Okay.
think high school is still. I think high school is like kiddie love, and you don't really have nothing serious going on, no real responsibilities. You're still living at your parents' house, so I can't really count that.
Mm-hmm.
But back from college, I say maybe four times deep in love. I like to call it
Mm-hmm.
because my thing is me personally. If I'm willing to ask you to be my lady or whatever, I'm feeling some type of vibe about you, or I'm digging you at some type of aspect, and I'm trying to get to the deep part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I say about maybe three times,
3 times. Okay.
uh,
All right. Now,
maybe
let's
four
talk a
times.
little bit more about the process of getting to the love. Do you have any things that were always like, or even, dating in your older life that was like a straight up no no, like a dating? I absolutely no, I can't deal with that. Do you have any of those that were like, yep, nope, that's a deal breaker for me?
Smokers. I mean, I can't deal with a person who smokes cigarettes. That's a no-no for me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, at one time, it used to be kids, but dating somebody with kids, but I have in the past. So
Okay.
that's. But if the kids, if somebody's kids are bad, you know, I'm not dealing with that. Really, I don't want to deal with somebody's. Now I'm at the point in my life where if I was single, I would rather date somebody who has older kids. So
Okay.
now, so it wouldn't restrain me from like doing like one thing I like to do is travel. So I like a woman who does. I mean, you can get a passport, but somebody who's willing to travel, who's not content on just being a homebody all the time, doing some things, being adventurous. Um, what else is a no for me? Uh, being not open minded about things,
Okay.
like closed minded, like you're
Mm-hmm.
totally close, like you don't experiment or just try to see the world go see the world, go see other things. You've never really been out of Jersey or something like that. You just say, "Oh, I'm good right here," and that's not. I can't function on that level.
Especially at this
Um,
stage in the game, I imagine.
yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Then I can't deal with somebody who's carrying luggage from three different relationships. Like, I mean, if you want to be a bell person, then that ain't the person for me. I don't need nobody carrying luggage. Like,
That part.
y'all let that stuff.
What song was that? Erica Badu, Bag Lady. You don't want none of that.
Yeah, no, definitely don't want that. I like a natural beauty. Like, you don't need makeup to really be who you are. Like, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have on your makeup, you don't feel like you're beautified. Like, I need a natural beauty. Um, if, I don't like dating women who like to wear heavy makeup all the time.
Okay.
That's never been my thing. Like what you got on now is enhancements. I like a person who likes to wear enhancements. I like to
Okay.
call it. Yeah.
Now, how did you meet your wife?
I've known her since third grade, actually,
For real?
at
I've
Elwood
never
School.
asked you that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've known her since she transferred into Elwood School. We was in the same third grade class, and Miss Guy. Your mother knows. Your mother knows.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Miss Guy. Yep,
Oh, well,
I met
yeah.
her back in third grade.
Carol, aka Aunt Carol. So when
Yep.
you all reconnected, I guess I should say, you started dating. What was it for you that made you know, like, okay, this is the one, or is for you? Is that what happened, or was it like gradual? Or you tell me so.
No, it took some time. It definitely took some time. It wasn't
Okay.
just gradual. Because we had reconnected and still wasn't on that mindset. We had we did some VLD gatherings and stuff of that nature, and I still wasn't looking at her any type of way.
Okay.
It was just the same old friend, whatever.
Now, was it a moment for you that happened that you were like, "Hey, this could be something," or was it over a span of
I
time?
think
Few moments. Like,
it's
how did that
scan
come?
of time. Yeah, it's scan of time. More of just investing in seeing who she really was. Um, I was in a space where I don't want to say free, but I wasn't in a relationship, and
Mhm.
it was just my me time. I like to say my time to get myself together, and I spent that time, and then I just showed some interest in her and see, where she was mentally and what part of her life and what was going on with her, at the time. But it was a gradual thing for sure.
Yeah.
Even after committing to the being just in a girlfriend relationship.
Okay. And did you always know that you wanted to be married?
Yeah, I always wanted to be married. I wanted to be married. I wanted to have, try to have kids at the time. At least one or two kids. You know, one was a two is a max. I'm not one of these people who need to have three or four kids. I always was big on having twins. I know people say that sounds crazy, but I
I
say get
remember
it out the way quick. Yeah, so having twins or just having one kid was all right with me. Some people say every person needs to grow up with a sibling and everything like that, but in this day and age, financially, you can't think like that. Maybe in the 80s, early 90s, or something like that. Back in the
Mhm.
70s, some functioning like that
Yeah,
made more sense.
that's true. That's true. Now, what do you like most about being married? Why did you always want to get married? And now that you are married, are some of those things still existing for you now that you are in the union?
The thing I liked about marriage as a whole is just having that companion, lifetime companion. You could say,
Mhm.
when you hear people saying they've been married for, you know, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever the case may be, it's, their journey wasn't easy. They all went through some ups and downs, but I like the idea of saying you created some type of history with somebody.
Hmm.
You just wasn't doing everything on your own. Like, you actually got to share these moments with the individual in your lifetime that you can actually feel can spill back the moments. Sometimes you do moments by yourself and you don't have nobody else to reference back. You can't say, "Hey baby, you remember when we," you gotta say that you're just talking to yourself now.
Mhm.
Um, what I like about the marriage situation, where I look at it now, is I'm older. I thought I'd have been married in my 30s, early 30s. Um, so I look at things totally different now. Like I said, things are the concept of, being a family man and all that other stuff is a
Mhm.
little different of a concept now as well. So now I just deal with the ideal of having enjoyment of just me and her and just making sure we enjoy life from this point on, going forward. Not think about it as taking away elements of what I thought marriage would have been like for me and just shrinking them down, minimizing it, and living for what I can deal with today with both of us. You know, so that's the difference of what I had a big picture of
Mhm.
what I thought was going to be me, but now as I got older, it just kept shrinking down to a certain
Mhm.
degree.
But you still think that you enjoy the whole marriage part. It sounds like you and also were looking forward to the companionship partnership of it as well. Is that what you? I want to put words.
Yeah. No, no, no. The companionship is very important. What I love about it is that that you hopefully you have somebody on the other side of you standing next to you who has your back, a great support system.
Mhm.
Like, most people don't have a great support system. They just have a body next to them who's just there, and
Mhm.
they're so used to having that body there that it's just convenient. I don't want this relationship to ever be convenient. I want it to be, something of stature, something of meaning. When people look at us, I don't want to say they're envious, but I just want them to say, hey, these two people look good. Maybe I can motivate myself to be the person, because everything's not perfect. We're not perfect as a
Right.
couple, but um, we make it. you make it do what it do. So
And one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation too is I feel like so often now we're talking about, or sometimes even just hanging out with your friends. And I'll speak for myself, girlfriends, we complain so much about the relationships or the love that didn't work. I feel like we don't
yeah.
celebrate enough the love that does work. So I was like, let's talk about some love, some healthy, fun, warm and fuzzy love. So
But
thank
why
you.
do you think that why do you think people focus on that negative part, like when they get together, where it should be
I
more
think it's
about the
easier to
empowerment?
complain. I think it's easier to complain. I think some people enjoy the banter that comes along with this dude, this guy, this girl. Look what they
Mm,
did. I
mm,
think it's easier
mm.
to continue the negativity than it is just to talk about that part.
Have
So
you
thank
have
you
you
for sharing in the loveliness of the. What were you about to say?
what is no what do you think the biggest concern, like, do you ever find yourself in a group of friends that you notice is I like to call them negative Nancy's, and for women, like you got a negative person in your group that's constantly always negative,
I'm sure I
and they
have.
just
If I'm thinking about my friends now, not so much, but yes, I remember those people existing or coming around doing that, but not so much now. I feel like, especially since we're older, most of my friends now are a
Mhm.
really good support group. I mean, listen, when you have a breakup or a recent breakup, it's fresh, it's new. So do I expect you to just be like, "Oh, it's all gravy. It was fine. He broke over me, but it's fine. I still love him." No, like I just want you to be there. And somebody just put in the chat, sometimes the conversation goes that way because you haven't healed over the hurt. So I definitely want to
Mhm.
be your ear. I definitely want to be that, but I just want to make sure we also acknowledge the love that is still alive and thriving and good. So I
Gotcha, gotcha.
think it's important. So now you and I back in the day used to talk about our favorite love movies and stuff. So if you had
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I was
what you about
thinking
to say?
about. I can't. I'm trying to think of a good love movie that, because I'm not. Whew.
I mean, I'm still on my
Well, that's
old
the good.
faithful. I'm still a Love Jones girl. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, I mean, Love Jones. If you talk about what type of movie I
Hmm.
like, yeah, Love Jones is always a good one.
Hmm.
Um, let me see. I think Love and Basketball, because how we weren't in a relationship, like we didn't have a love hate, but we had a good friendship,
Hmm.
and we came back and formed a union. I think
Okay.
that's Love and Basketball.
Like if you're talking about
Love and Basketball.
if you had to put a movie to your
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah. Basically, Love and Basketball. Like we was in a friend zone for so long, and then we decided to try to make something out of it.
Very cute. Now, do you have any cliches about love that you really like that is more than just a cliche for you? Is something that you really enjoy,
Cliche.
like a romantic gesture kind of cliche,
Well,
that you.
I'm a guess I am a gesture type. Some people I like to say. I try to find some things. I keep details of things of a person I'm dealing with in my notes. Like I can, it even goes down to like your bra size or something, just crazy, just things that I just try to keep on tied to it. Your favorite color, flowers or anything, because if I ever want to reference back to something and I want to just do something spontaneously, I don't want to have to seem like I'm constantly asking you these things, which I should already know.
Okay,
um
that's thoughtful.
um I'm trying to think of a good cliche that
Like I can tell you
what,
mine, like how old and corny it is. I still enjoy when a guy opens the door for me. I do like that.
yeah, okay, all right. I think my learning thing is holding hands in public. I'm
Mm.
I'm 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 more into trying to be better at that. I'm
Hmm.
not. Or another cliche is saying, like, you can be. I know you're a beautiful person. I know you like to put it on, and instead of saying, hey, that looks good on you, a compliment like that, just that compliment that you just need, like, to know when you're walking out the house that I know you look good, and like not letting a person before after me say it to you before I do.
I
So
like
that's
that one. Talking about notes, somebody had to write that one. Damn, yes.
yeah, that's things I work on more on a daily basis.
And you were saying holding hands. I was listening to a podcast, or like a few minutes into a podcast the other day, and they were saying one of the
Hmm.
best ways to have like a difficult conversation with your partner, one of the best ways to do,
Hmm.
especially if tensions are kind of on a rise, is to hold hands. They were
Hmm.
like, you know how hard it is to
Hmm.
argue with somebody when you're holding their hand? I was like, that is so true.
Yeah, especially if you're face to face with the person
Mm-hmm.
and you're just sitting there in that moment. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't sit in a lot of people don't sit in their moments. They might discuss it and let it roll by, but the one thing you don't want is lingering situations. Like you don't want things
Right.
lingering on for days or even hours. That whole cliche, don't go to bed mad. Um,
Oh yeah,
I
that's
mean,
one.
yeah, I think that's a one that you definitely don't want to. But it happens. You go to bed and it is what it is. But I don't think it should linger for long periods of time. Like you walking past each other in a house that you have or apartment you have, and you're constantly just like I ain't speaking to that joker, he ain't speaking to me, but y'all still doing the same routines for each other. Like he likes his coffee in the
Yeah,
morning. He usually make his coffee, so you're gonna still make the coffee, but you ain't gonna speak to him.
yeah.
Just those type of things.
Yes, yes. I think that's funny.
Like you're not gonna take your pettiness to the full degree. You just making sure you stand on business or whatever you stand on at that present time.
Yeah. I've seen reels like that. They crack me up. Like, whatever. Here's your coffee, but I ain't speaking to you still. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel like out of all the relationships you had or in your dating history, there was some good advice that either your elder, your mother, your grandparents gave you that you used when you were dating?
Um, I say I've had a couple. I mean, I think I don't speak to my parents too much about my dad. I think my dad might have told me that I remember driving in the car one day and he said to me, never never let somebody take your happiness.
Hmm.
Don't let somebody take your happiness, no matter how much you love them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I took out of that is that you have to find joy within that person,
Mm-hmm.
because once you don't have that joy, because a lot of things happen. People say, "Oh, why did you cheat?" Oh, I wasn't feeling this person no more. The love wasn't there no more. And sometimes it happens within, because you lost yourself in the concept, because maybe
Mm-hmm.
y'all guys have kids and you were so focused on the kids and stuff, y'all lost yourselves. That's why I tell people all the time, like, you got kids, you got to create some type of date night. I don't care if you go to a concert. I don't care, depending on how old your kids are. If you can stay out the whole night, get a hotel room or do something different, it just got to create date nights at least 3 times, 2 or 3 times within a month. And
Yeah.
it's easier said than done, but it's possible, if you plan for it. Um, my grandfather, he was a more of a Fred Sanford type. The type of business he had. He's a junkyard guy. He
Mm-hmm.
collected junk. And I remember one time my grandmother had called us in. I was working with him. My grandmother had called us in to eat, and he was like, "You see that?" He said, "You see that, grandson?" I was like, "See what?" And he was like, "No matter what I'm doing, and no matter what time of the day it is, your grandmother's gonna make sure I'm all right." So just a kind gesture of maybe texting somebody or calling them midday, like they're at work. They're supposed to be at work anyway. They're at work, but just a kind gesture saying, "Hey, how's your day going?" Not waiting until you get home. You might want to ask them midday, because they might need that. They might have just went through a situation with their boss or a coworker or something like that, or maybe not. They might be having a good day, but at least they know you crossed their mind midday.
Little check-in.
It's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a check-in. Just a check-in. It's a lot of people might do that little good morning when you're dating somebody. You
Mm-hmm.
like good morning text in the morning. But I feel like every little check-in, every little importance. Like, say if me and you're dating and you're sick, you really can't get out the house or whatever like that, and I come, bring soup and medicine and make sure you're okay, and you're a strong, independent woman. You get your thing going. You don't need much if you don't feel like it. And most of the time, you probably, the men who come into your life is by your choice. It's not like because you need them. So when you're dealing with situations of that manner, it's like, yeah, let me keep that going. Let me make her feel special. She might seem like she's an independent woman and everything like that, but she still needs a little bit more caring. She still needs a little hug every now and then. She still needs to know that you presently see her for who she is, and that's beauty, the beauty within and without. So, when you have those type of concepts, you have that kind of mindset of how you want that person to see you as, then you follow through with those everyday, I say, actions.
Yeah, I think
on
that's
another
really
basis,
cool.
because
And
you want to feel like somebody cares about you.
now I know people say a lot about love language. Do you feel like that's something that exists in a relationship? Like, are there different love languages? Do you feel like you have a
Oh yeah,
love?
facts. Yeah. I'm a like I said earlier, I not gifts, but I kind gestures. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you'll say to me, oh, me and you could be dating. You say, Dwayne, I'm trying to think. Say if you was driving, like, oh, I need an oil change or something like that. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to get my oil change I'm going to get my oil change on Saturday. You want to come meet me at the oil change place, then maybe we go get something to eat. And then my kind gesture might be say, I might pay for your oil change, and then we can go get
Mm-hmm.
something to eat. You're not thinking about that. I might not be able to take your car, but I'm taking you with the car to get oil change. Because we're not in the living situation. Now, if we was living together, then I just could take the car and just get the oil change and stuff like that. But it just kind
I was about to
gestures.
throw that
That's
in there.
that's
No,
my
but once I'm married, I need a husband to get
huh.
the oil change. I said I was going to throw that in there. Once I'm married, I'm going to take that oil change. Going to take the car without me. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I laugh at one of my friends. He says his wife is always. He says his wife goes. He says she takes both keys to the cars because they just take each other's cars. So
Mm-hmm.
he says he feels like she'll go look at the gas meter and says, "Oh, that has more gas, and I will take this car." I was like, "Oh, you bugging." I said one day you're gonna have to make the gas low on both cars and see what she does. Because for some reason he says every time wherever car has the most gas, she's out in that car. I was like, oh, I said it's cute to you because you don't say nothing to her about it, so you're just complaining to me. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with the open ear system. But it must not be that much of a problem for you.
Yeah. Hopefully, yes. I feel like if that's the biggest problem we have in our relationship, I might be all right. We might have something good going.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier, and I don't want to miss people's comments. Yvette says she lost herself in her kids. So when you were talking about
Okay.
so, but speaking of that, that
Mhm.
made me think of so many people, and I feel like it's so easy to lose yourself in a relationship just because it involves so much combining of personalities and friends and
Yeah.
family and all of the things,
Mhm.
right? So, is there
Mhm.
anything that you always tend to do or still implement now that make you be able to still keep yourself and the partnership functioning well?
Like I give you an instance of my weekend, my Valentine's weekend, for example. I'm not big on the holiday because I'm an all year person. I call
Mhm.
myself. So I'm an all year. Flowers for no reason. I might pop up one day and give you flowers, and you might be like, oh, what's this for? Just because.
Mhm.
It's not. I'm not a. It doesn't have to be a reason for me to do anything for you. So
Mhm.
when Valentine's Day does come around, I call it the makeup holiday for men, like
Mhm.
especially for men. You trying to make up what you ain't do in 3 or 4 months, or 5 months, whatever, in one day. And if your woman is okay with that, then that's cool. Like I was in a relationship one time, and the woman I was dating had just started a new job, and I found out where the job was, the location, whatever, and I sent her flowers for her first day. It's the first day of the job. Sent her flowers on the first day just to make her, feel good because she was having a rough time finding a job at the time. So I wanted her to feel special in her new environment. So when she's getting flowers on her first day, women like, who's this girl coming in getting flowers on their first day? Blah, 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 blah. So fast forward, that was December. So fast forward to Valentine's Day. Now all the women, some same women are getting flowers on Valentine's Day. I didn't do that. I didn't send her flowers on Valentine's Day. And she got caught up in the moment of them girls saying, oh, what's up, flower girl? You ain't getting no flowers on flower, So instead of her saying to herself and saying to them, well, I get it all the time, she got caught up in the moment and wanted to address me. She wanted to address me for not sending flowers for that day. And I was like, does that make sense? Wouldn't you want flowers, let's just say 6-7 times throughout the year, come to your job or you receive that, than a person who's just getting flowers on that one day or 2 days? They might get it for their birthday and for Valentine's Day. I said, look at the percentages. I said, you're a financial person, percentages. Like, let's be honest here. What would you want overall as a person? And it hurt me because you know me, you know who I am, but you forgot who I was because of words that was being spilled to you. So you came home to challenge me on why didn't I show that effort because other people were saying it, and that was a turn off for me at that point in time in our relationship. But
how do you feel like you can preserve yourself, like in your relationship, and you all, especially, and I'll speak for myself, after dating, after in the ripe young age of 50, it's different. Like I wasn't willing to do things that probably in my 20s and 30s I was willing to do. Like I have a bunch of friends now. My friends are the people who have kept me sane, and I've dated several people who had issues with the fact that my friends were not going away because they suddenly appeared. So just in that vein, how do you, like you said, not lose yourself so much in a person and still how are you, Dwayne, and your wife still your wife, and you still are able to be partners and companions, but still having your individual selves, lives, however you want to put it?
Well, when she met me, she realized I'm technically a social person. So I have friends here, like even bringing her to your cookout. Like she realized that, I have friends in all different types of places. Like even in our first trip away with each other in Jamaica, I ran into somebody that I knew in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So it's the running joke. Like, we'll be out somewhere. She's like, oh, you probably gonna run into somebody that she don't think about it. Like we go to Prudential, that's obvious. But certain places where we're out away from our normal location, normal area, and I run into somebody, or she might run into somebody, but most likely it'd be me. I never, she knows who I am in the sense of that aspect. She knows that I'm going to be constantly being around people. For me to cut somebody off, you must really did something crazy to me. So she knows I have various amounts of friendships and associates, and my family is my family.
You all had to have before the relationship, so that was an understanding. Is that a way that you are able to be focused?
It became
separate yourself or not lose yourself?
No, it was a natural thing, because she's involved in other organizations and she's in a sorority and other things of that nature. So I know she's heavily involved in those things, and we both put I don't want to say we both put our foot down on what was important to both of us when it comes down to us. And we can't allow these activities or being in these type of groups or being around these people try to change us in the aspects. And that goes around being around family. Sometimes people don't realize that, even being around your family can change the dynamic of who you are as a person sometimes, So people don't see that because they're always constantly around their family and they play that role in their family, that they don't see who they are outside of that. So that also plays a game, because if somebody doesn't know, you, your mom and your sister, and see y'all together and see y'all dynamic. They like, where do I fit in that situation? Well, you fit in as the her partner. Now, depends on the level of where you at in the relationship with her. Then probably the love for you might come a little deeper, depending on, and it also depends on what the person you're dealing with is telling their family or telling their friends or anything like that. Because a vibe is a vibe. Like if you're not giving that person what they need, they're talking to somebody. I don't care what you say. Somebody's talking to somebody. Somebody's not sitting and just keeping all that in. They're releasing that to somebody. They're besties, they're female friends, whatever. So when you get around them and you get this like nonchalant vibe, like, oh, hey Dwayne, like you get one of those, or you get short responses, and people don't really invite you, like, oh yeah, my homegirl had a gathering at the house, and I think I didn't think you wanted to go. Like, no, she's not feeling you. She don't want you in her house because of something you know what I'm saying, you make it. This thing, or her friends might get snappy with you. Like, it's a level to things. Like, her friends should never feel comfortable getting at you or him or whatever. Even family members, you can't allow. Like, if my sister snapped on Shaban Day, I would never allow that comfort level. Like, I'm never gonna allow you to talk to her crazy, no matter how you feel about the situation. Now, if she disrespects me some type of way, and you feel like it's open season, and I give you the green light to do that, then okay, cool. But I would never give any of my siblings or any of my family members the green light to disrespect, my wife at any time.
Now, you mentioned earlier about just always, you said some of the advice your grandfather gave you was just that, keeping your joy, always making sure you have your joy. I know that breakup.
My dad.
Your dad. Okay, sorry, your dad. I know that relationships can be difficult, and over the years you've had some breakups, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. How did you remain joyful even in the difficulties of a breakup? That could be hard.
Depends on, like,
times you had to remember your joy and remember that advice you were given.
Well, I'm always going to love my joy. My joy is something I'm not going to get totally depressed. In a sense, I'm going to be. I'll be sad about the situation, about me giving all my time, especially. No matter if it's a year or 2 years, I gave you my time and my energy. So you never want to feel like you're wasting your energy, because life isn't. You don't know what your life is expected is. You don't know when you're going to leave this earth. Right. So you want to give all that time and energy to a person that feel you at the time you feel like it's worth your time. Because the thing is this, we're at a point now. I'm about to turn 50. And you can't invest into a business that you totally are not 100% sure about. Like you like this. I'm sure that if I put a McDonald's somewhere, it's gonna make some money, because McDonald's is McDonald's. It ain't too many. You don't see too many McDonald's closing down, right? But I'm not too sure if I put a Subway somewhere, it's gonna make money, because Subway is like, to me, it's like hit or miss. I know for assuring McDonald's is gonna kick. Like I said, I don't know too many. The only McDonald's I ever seen close was on Dodge Street in East Orange. That McDonald's closed down.
Yes, it did.
And that was because they built the McDonald's on Central Ave. So, but I feel like that McDonald's would have stayed open, they would still be making money, because it's just a different region. So, things. I feel like at this point in my life anyway, when you're at a certain age, your time and energy and your love for something has your investment into that situation has to be important. It has to be. You don't have room to fail. It's hard, because like you said, if I break up with somebody, it's like, dang, man, I just spent 3 years with this girl. What was going on in the situation? What caused the breakup? What is something I can bounce back to? If some people want to circle back, and when you circle back, now you double down investment. Now you double down in your your feelings and stuff, because now, especially if the person that you're getting back with, they might have did something bad. My thing is, like, if you double down on somebody who cheated on you, that means you give them free range. Like, or they stole money from you or some type of thing, like that thing, then I feel like it's no comeback from that. Like, once you steal from me, or once you cheat on me, it's we done. Because one, to be honest with you, I ain't ugly. I don't feel that. The reason I don't feel depressed because I'm not an ugly guy. That's one. I feel like I can go out here, and if I need to find somebody new, I won't find somebody new. But the emotional aspect, I can't is tough. That's the most tough part of the breakups, is the investment of emotions. And then, hey, let's just say, you were invested in their family. You put some years in, their cousins, their brothers, and all that. Say you got a great relationship with them, and you hang out with them without your wife or husband or your partner being around. You got times you hung out with the brother, or the sister, or whatever. Or whatever the case may be, and now you gotta dwindle down those relationships. That's when it becomes tough.
Right, it's all tough. I mean, they've been a part of your life, like a part of it, literally. So yeah. So then, one of the questions I wrote down too before we started talking was, do you feel like, or have you had the experience to just feel like it's a real thing, being the right person at the wrong time? Is that a real thing?
Meeting the right person at the wrong time? Yes. Facts.
Okay.
I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that. Just knowing that somebody was in a relationship when you was in a relationship and vice versa, but y'all just can't find that common time when you had broke up and they broke up. Because especially if you dealt with the person before some type of way, and you like, oh, you're like, are you single? Like, no, I just got into a relationship. You're like, hey, maybe I'd have called 2 weeks ago or something, just that nature. But then some people are gangster with it and be like, you know what? They might be in a relationship, but I'm gonna try to trump that relationship. I think I bring so much to the table that I'm gonna try to push them out of that relationship. Now, you're taking a big chance, because if you could push her out of that relationship, somebody could push you out of yours.
Right.
And do you want a person who's not that loyal, in their relationships, to be dealing with you? I want somebody who wants to fight. Now, if I can push you out of your relationship, maybe the relationship is dwindling down, and I'm just the person you need to help you push you over the edge to get into my arms. But I'd rather you do it on your terms. So then when you come to me, you're not going to use me as, oh, I left you for so-and-so, and this is what I'm here for. I don't need to hear that.
Yeah, because if somebody left you for somebody else, the same thing could happen to you.
Oh, facts. It definitely could happen. It definitely could happen to you. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that is definitely a real thing. So we're coming to the end of the hour, but before I'll give you back the rest of your evening. Is there any advice you could give to people who are just starting to date or feel like they're just going into a serious relationship? Any love 101 advice you would give?
Invest into your ears. And when I say that, is that allow your ears to be the center of your thought process, because jewels are being dropped every time. It's your job to catch those jewels and receive those jewels, and maybe take notes on and put those jewels aside, because you might not need to use it at that present time, but it's going to be a time and a place for you to use it. To help you, just remember little things. A person tells you their parent has passed away on this particular date. You might want to put that in your calendar, because then around that time of the year that they're going to be, they're going to be very sensitive around that time. Or, a person can tell you, my favorite time, my favorite season is spring. Let's just say, maybe you just want to plan some things around spring. They tell you their favorite group is New Edition. Oh, New Edition is in town. He was in town this past Friday. Oh, let me go get some tickets for her. So she, we could go to the concert together. Just little things. Open your ears up. Your ears is like is like everything that brings it to your spirit, into your heart, because
Mm-hmm.
what you hear and what and what you're taking in is going to definitely help you as a better person. Um, your eyes can deceive you. You can see a beautiful person. You can see a person from the outside looking in, but once a person speaks and tells you who they are in a sense, and their actions, and you see it, you're visually seeing it, but you're hearing things you can't believe you're hearing. And like the
Mm-hmm.
person always says to you, like, you didn't hear them say that to you, or you didn't,
Yeah.
you didn't recognize that part. They didn't tell you, like, oh, I just thought they, and my biggest thing is, do not try to be a changer. You trying to be a changer of an individual will drain you. That means you're not taking time to yourself. Like, you're not worrying about your inner being. Like, you're not Mother Teresa or Father John. You can't change everybody. That's not what your job is to do. Now you can supporting and changing is two different things. And when
Mm-hmm.
you understand the difference in those two, you supporting a person and changing a person, like, listen, it's tough. Like, and I always say this: if a person start getting on drugs while they with you, let them focus on themselves. And you may have to, some people like, oh, I was with them, they was going through a hard time. If you ain't built for that, step away. Let them go get their help that they need. Let them go for get their family support. Their family been knowing they on drugs or they stuff like that. And if you got somebody, I always say this is funny to me because if you're starting to date somebody who heavily smokes weed, for example, right? Who smokes weed, they smoke it, like they gotta smoke it to go to bed every night. But then when y'all get in a relationship, you trying to change that.
Mm-hmm.
No, fool. No, you the fool because you knew what they do every night, and you
Right.
decided that you like 80%, 85% of what they did, and that weed was part of the 5%, 6%. They ain't giving up that. That's what they do every night. They get
Yeah.
to the point where they try to smoke it in your house, and you
Mm-hmm.
nah, it's not a. Sometimes it's not a curve, and that's something that's not going to bend for you. Then you gotta let it go. It's just things that bend is some things that don't bend in life. So when
Yep.
you put that heat on it, when you put that heat on metal and it bends, that means you will, exercise your time into that. But my main thing is open your ears, let your ears be the thrustles to your heart and make you feel good inside. Because when somebody tells you they love you, it's like, wow, just hearing the words, those 4 words are so powerful. Like just saying, just saying love, just saying love. I love what you do. I love how you look. I love the way, you speak to me. I love the way you hold me.
Mm-hmm.
I love this meal that you just cooked. And the person on the other end of that would be like, yeah, that's appreciation. I love to feel appreciated. So my love language is to know that I'm being appreciated.
Yeah.
So if you don't appreciate me, if I know you appreciate me, then I could be more who I am to you.
I like that. That is a lovely note to end on. Yes. I was going to ask you more about love in terms of like what it looked like before and now with the new age of internet. Do you feel like it's any different? And then
Oh,
I'll let people go.
it's a free world. It's a free spirit out there. The openness of the internet opens you up to all types of different, like, I want to say bullcrap, but is there's so much fake stuff out there now. And
Right?
the visual aspect is more than any time ever. It's like you can actually make yourself look good. And like I said, you go on some of these dating sites and stuff like that. By the time you figure the person out, you got goals. Some people have goals they trying to smash, or they got goals of just maybe finding a partner on those websites. I
And
don't
you
think
have
I would.
to sift through all of that.
I,
Sift through it all.
huh?
I said you have
Oh
to
yeah, you
sift through
peeling.
all of that. Oh my
It's
goodness.
like it's like peeling a potato. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're gonna get out of the potato once you season it and once you start cooking it in that fryer or baking it, whatever you're doing. But to peel that potato, if a person has never peeled a potato before, let me explain something to you. Once you keep peeling that potato and you get it to where you want to get it to, you feel good.
Yeah.
Because you actually got it to the point where you feel good about the potato, but you feel good about your life. So once you start peeling all of these layers off of us, a person, you got to say, is the person standing in front of me, is that person going to make me happy? Is that person going to is going to be my everlasting? That's a lot of people don't look. People don't go into these relationships wondering, is this person going to be my everlasting? That internet is a wild thing. Let me ask you a question. Is it a such thing as saying I love you too early?
As you were talking about love, I thought about that. When you know what, as you were saying that, I thought about that too. I don't think it's early if it's how you really feel. If that's how you really
what's
feel.
What's early to you? What's too early? I feel like something too early.
I think it depends on the nature of your relationship and the bond you and a person have. Because how can I tell you what your love feeling is and when? Is there a time frame? I don't know. I don't
think it's a time. But my thing is this: if you tell me within 2 months, you can't be mad at me because I'm not feeling what you're feeling in 2 months.
That's correct. I do feel like you can be right. I do agree with you.
Some people get mad because when you say it, they want to hear it back in return.
Yeah.
But that's not my feeling. We two different individuals. My effort and my what I'm doing for you makes you feel that way, but I might not be there yet because you might not be giving me what I need. Because everybody has different grading systems. We're not in school where we all have reading, math, history, all that. Like we might have those, but we all have different levels of why we need to fill our cups up with love. Like what takes us to the top of that rim. Everyone doesn't have that. Everyone doesn't have it. So,
and then the whole new words they're talking about now, like love bombing and stuff. I'm like, what is that?
Love bombing?
Yes, that was a new word I learned this year or 2025. I learned that. That's a whole thing. But anyway, that probably is a whole nother Monday moment. But I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. Anyway. Well, DJ, thank you for your time tonight and talking about love and sharing your opinions on love and answering all my crazy questions. I appreciate you. If there's something you want to say that I didn't ask you already, feel free, chime in. Now's the time. If anybody in the chat has any questions they want to chime in and ask or comment on, please feel free. I will tell y'all that next week at Monday at 8 p.m., I'm going to be graced with the lovely presence of Dr. Sultan, who is a mental health doctor. So he's going to share with us he's going to enlighten us with some of the things that are going on in the world today with mental health, what we can do to protect our mental health, and what some of the dangers are, the signs to look out for those things. So tune in next Monday at 8 p.m. and the Monday after that and the Monday after that. Now, with that said, DJ, is there anything else you wanted to say that I didn't ask you or that we didn't already discuss?
I think the best thing for you to do as a person is to reevaluate yourself before you get into any relationship, especially if you get out of a bad breakup and it's been, maybe the breakup has been, more than, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, you've been in a long-term relationship. I think you need to have a true reset period in your life. That means not involving yourself in the relationships of any kind, no backsliding with the person you just met, you just broke up with. You need a true reset. That means finding your inner spirit. That means, some people go to the gym and get themselves back to doing what they need to do and get to fit or whatever they got to do. I think everybody deserves a reset. And even in relationships, sometimes you need a reset.
Yeah.
Refocus. Even though people say, you need to reevaluate your relationship sometimes. Maybe in your relationship you're missing a couple of things that you guys used to do. Like somebody mentioned in your chat that they lost themselves in their kids, and the reason is because the precedence of the kids took over your lives, and the kids are important, but these kids are going to leave you soon in 18 years or 21 years, whatever the case may be. Now you guys are back to just being you. Like, why do you have to lose yourself within that time period? because the kids ain't really going nowhere. But where y'all are, y'all the ground, y'all the roots of that family you started. So they're branching off of you guys. They're vibing off of you guys. They see you guys going out on dates and stuff like that. They like, oh, I see how my parents are moving. But if you staying in the house all the time and you ain't really going nowhere, y'all ain't really doing nothing. Y'all ain't going to concerts or going away, just y'all two and stuff like that. Like you basically putting your relationship to the 8 ball. Like the one thing I always say, if you're living with somebody, try not to be a roommate.
Yeah.
You know, don't be a roommate. It's tough.
Some great moments, some great tips y'all gave us. This is how you find your mojo and love, y'all. I hope y'all were taking notes, listening. I'll put some of the comments we said today in the notes when I repost, in the caption rather, when I repost. But thank y'all again for joining. Thank you, DJ, for sharing, and Karen. And y'all have a happy month. Have a happy Black History Month, and keep the mojo going. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.